Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our other session with great coach Vladimir Ivankovic. It's my big pleasure to have for third session with Coach Ivankovic. Today we're going to talking about teaching primary fast break. So let's start, Coach. I think it's an important topic.
Hi, thank you for having me again. It's always a pleasure. Now, fast break. I remember in most of the teams I came and then the journalist came to me and talked with me that, how would you like to play, coach? And we all say, every time, oh, we will play good defense, have a good rebound and try to play fast break. Yeah, it's much easier said than done, especially because there is lots of players missing fundamentals of running good fast break. So what I want to say is it's very important to start to teach your players how to run fast break. So when they develop in senior team players, they will know what they do. And then everything depends on the coach, how coach will say, okay, I want to do this or that. But the coaches in under 12, under 14, under 16 have a big task to teach the players how to play basketball. And I spoke a little bit about that in my previous two sessions, what we had. Now, let's talk about a bit when we want to run fast break. Usually, we want to run it, of course, after a rebound, after a steal, after the shot is blocked and we grab the ball, and even after successful shot if we make a good and quick inbound play. When I'm coaching, when I'm coaching the senior teams, the top division teams, I like to run fast break basically only in two situations, and that's a long rebound and a steal. It could, of course, if my players see that they can run fast break in some other situation, I'm okay with that. But those are basics. Those are basics. Of course, you can have your own ideas when do you want to run it, but those fours, after rebound, after steal, blocked shot or successful shot, those are the regular situation for the fast break. Now, of course, a rebound can be done by a big guy or girl, 4 and 5, could be even done by a point guard. So, of course, in this situation, you will have a different way how to run your fast break. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Why do we want to play it? Of course, we want to make as much as possible easy points out of it. We, of course, control the game rhythm with this. It could help us beat the defense we don't like to play against. You know, if you don't like to play against full court pressure, then you will try to run fast break. If you don't like to play against zone defense, you will try to run fast break. It's always fun to play for kids, and it's fun to watch for parents. And it's very important to know that if all players can score out of the fast break, you know, they run, they get the ball, they go for layup. It's easy position to score. What are the principles of running fast break? the first thing is we have to secure the possession. So it's either rebound or steal, but we have to have ball in our hands, and then we can start running. You know, there is some players, there is some teams, I played against some teams, every time we take a shot, there is a players ready to run for fast break without the boxing out or anything else. So for me, it's important to secure the possession. I want to teach my players, and I think it's really important, to grab the ball with two hands. I think you will all agree with me. You saw lots of times your post player grab the ball with one hand, go in the air, grab the ball, and the ball slips out of bounds. I like to teach players to grab the ball with two hands and make after that a good outlet pass. Then depends on different factors. We have running lanes. That depends also where do you want your ball to be. I will show you two situations, the ball on the side and the ball in the middle. So when we dribble on the side and when we dribble at the middle. Now we talk, those are all fundamentals, also ball handling skills. We have to know that our guy with the ball will not lose it on a dribble. We want to pass the ball ahead to an open player as soon as possible. We need to teach our players to have a good finishing skill so they can finish around the rim with a different situation, either layup or reverse layup or whatever, Euro step, whatever. And we need to think about safety, which means that if we miss fast break, that we don't give opponents chance to have a re-break. So if we don't score, they will probably try to run fast break in our back. So we need to have a safety player. I will not talk about the safety player now in this clinic. I will focus on first seven principles or important. Now, we have primary and secondary fast break. Today we're going to talk about primary fast break. Secondary is some coaches call it early offense or transition offense. Some call it secondary fast break, but if we are talking about primary fast break, we can talk about secondary fast break also. And I have, which I mentioned earlier, two subtypes, and that's by ball handler position. So in the middle or on the side. Now, if you watch NBA, and I'm sure you do, it's not that that much in Europe, even it is, but lots of teams in NBA run side fast break. I will show it also a little bit later. I think players needs to be ready to run both. And that also depends of your staff, what do you have. But as we are talking about developing fast break in early age, so under 14, under 16, I think the players needs to be ready to run all situation and all court possession. Now, we are moving towards the initial setup of the fast break. Now, in this picture, you see the fast break lines. So we will talk about fast break through the middle. So we have wings who run first. They should run as close as possible to the sideline. We have inside, that's a blue ones. That's where the rim man or a trailer should run. Those are the lines. And of course, the green one where the ball should be. Now, for when we spoke about the principles earlier, so we have to box out all players when the shot is coming. we all box out. Now, when you are boxing out under the basket, it's one thing. When you are boxing out on a perimeter is another thing. What I'm coaching my players, so if my big man boxing out opponent big man, it's usually with the back, right? But in situation that, for example, my 2 has to box out opponent's 4, then it's with the hand and trying to either take or tip the ball. So boxing out is important. So if we tip the ball to the other player who will grab a rebound. And on perimeter, I like to box out chest to chest because, for example, there is a player number 2 trying to, so he's boxing out his man, he's pushing him out, and he immediately can start running to fast break. Now, of course, at real on the court, I will show you that much more precise, but I think that you understand. If player 2, for example, turns his back to his opponent, then this guy can make a fake and run behind his back, you know. So what I'm teaching on perimeter, on the 3-point line, we box out chest to chest. So of course, this is situation when our big guys grab the ball, but of course there will be situation then, for example, when I was coaching in Germany, I had a point guard in the women's team. She was 158, very small player, but she had like 6 or 7 rebounds per game. Why? Because we did great job with boxing out, and she was just coming and cleaning, grab the ball, and we run fast break out of it. So, of course, it depends. If your player 2 is a good rebounder and also good ball handler, then you don't need to have an outlet pass. Then you will just send your guards to the wings and let number 2 to drive the ball. When I was coaching EuroLeague in Novi Zagreb, I had a very good power forward, position 4, great ball handler. So every time she grabbed the ball, I told her, just go. We run. You go as a point guard. Just drive the ball through the middle and share it. So it depends. But now we will do as easy as possible, basics, fundamentals. So anyhow, in most of the cases, our big players, 5 and 4, grab most of the rebounds in the game. So let's say player 5 grabbed the rebound. Now, what we have, immediately when we secure possession, our wings will start running. And how they're running, I'm teaching my players to run, and I suggest sprint till the half court, first 3, 4, 5 steps. As fast as possible, don't look back, just go. Create the distance between yourself and a defender. When my wings reach the half court position, they should turn their back towards the middle to see where the ball is. Okay, so it depends on which side they are. Look over the shoulder, and then they can slow down a bit. Okay. Then my point guard. I want my point guard to go on the ball side as close to the sideline as possible. So if my 5 is here on the left side, I would like my point guard go to the left side. If the ball is like here, then point guard should go this way, because we don't want to have so-called diagonal passes, because pass from here to here is diagonal and it's easy to steal. And this player should turn his back to the sideline. Why is that important for me? You see the whole court. So you see the whole court if your back is towards the sideline. If you look to the baseline, then you don't know what's happening behind you. And when the ball is coming, you can steal the ball. I don't want my players to start running, point guards. I don't want them to start running, because when they start running, they turn their back, they watch the ball, doom, offensive foul. So go to the sideline, ask for the ball. Okay, and of course, 4 player, in this case, it's our rim-man, because she or he is running as a first big guy, and we want to send him to the rim. So that position can be here in the middle, could be on this weak side spot, could be here, depends. That's up to you. Wherever you want to send this player, it's fine. Now, this highlighted is an outlet area. I like my guy, when they are in this position, when they see the full court, when they are waiting for the ball, I want them to loop. So I call this loop, this move, I call it loop, because then they see what's happening, and now they can start move. Okay, so we want them to catch the ball somewhere in this area, not too far, not too close. We don't want them to catch the ball here. We call that a coffin corner, because they can trap or lose the ball or whatever. I don't want them to come and take the ball from the hands of a post player, because that slows down the fast break. I want that to be as quick as possible. So when those guys, 2 and 3, should run somewhere till the extended free throw line. And when they reach extended free throw line, they should start cutting. 4, of course, continue to run, and point guard starts to dribble the ball. Now, we said we want the ball pass ahead as soon as possible. That could be wherever. Could be left, could be right, could be to player 4. He's or she's first. Could be long pass. I will show you some drills how to practice this. But we want to pass ahead as soon as possible. Lots of coaches teach players, especially in young age, to bring the ball to the free throw line. I like to ball to go fast, you know, to pass the ball as fast as possible. So, and then it's very important, because we don't know what this player will do. Will he be able to score or not, or he will be stopped here? When you pass the ball, teach your point guard to follow the pass. So follow the pass. Why? Because if this player is stopped here, he can reverse the ball back. So, as we said, 4 goes to the rim. If the ball is on this side, then player 3 will a little bit spread out. Player 5 will fill up the trailer spot. Player 1 is here to ready. Now, as I said, if player 2 cannot finish, he can swing the ball back to 1, and then we can move to either to our set offense or transition offense. You would probably like this screen to happen and then attack out of this. So that's the easiest way to attack in so-called secondary fast break. But maybe for the kids 14, 16 years old, that could be a good idea. So if we cannot finish our fast break, especially if it's 3-on-2 situation, which I'm going to show later how I teach my players, point guard should follow the ball, fill up the open spot, and then we are in good situation. Now, I will move to something, if there is some questions on this is just basic. I will later move to some drills, which we can talk a little bit more specific about the positions of players. But if there is a questions, coach, you can stop me anytime.
I think it's better to go on, and after that, at the end, we can ask some questions.
Okay, good. That's fine. Now, this is what I call side fast break, and it's a little bit different. Now, here you see the basic position of our players is the same. We are boxing out. And as I said, this is more or less American style. Why? In today's basketball, you saw there is lots of three-point shots. They run. The players became better and better. And if we have to teach our players to play basketball on the modern level, they have to be able to shoot from the distance. That's how today basketball is played. Previously, you had the big guys under the basket who've been dominating. Then, even before, you had the good guards who are dominating. Now the shooters dominating basketball. As I said, especially NBA, but also in European basketball. Because European basketball is a little bit following what's happening, what are the trends, and still NBA making trends in basketball. Now, we have three lines. We have ball side lines and in this line, the ball handler and the ball side corner player are running. We have middle. This is either for trailer or for rim man. It depends. This is the player with the ball. Player who grabs the rebound is either trailer or rim man. I will show you both situations. And weak side is where the first player will run all the way to the corner and the second player will run to 45. Extended free throw line, or let's say extended free throw line, 45. When I say 45, I mean the 45 degrees towards the basket. So again, we have an outlet pass and outlet area. We have player 2 sprinting to the corner. So sprint to the half court, look back, continue to the corner. We have player 3, the same thing, running all the way to the corner, and player 4 filling the spot on the 45. We have two situations. It could be quick pass as soon as possible, depends on how fast are those players. So the point guard can pass the ball either to 4 or directly to the corner. Depends about the defense. Teach them both situations. And of course, after this pass, continue and fill up that spot. Now, player 5 could run up to here or all the way down. It depends. If you have, we are talking about kids now, so let them teach to do both. Teach them to do both. Depends how fast they are. If they are not that fast, then it's a different thing. And this is the second situation when the point guard needs to dribble the ball deeper and then make those passes. Then probably number 5 will have more chances to come to the rim than if it's a quick pass. Now, after those passes, of course, we have situation that the ball can go in also in the strong side corner. Just a little bit back. After the ball comes here or here, we can have additional pass also here. Then it's a read and react. We have drills to teach them. So you first teach them through drills and then you go to 5-on-0. This is what I'm just showing the situation. So if the ball comes here, it could be immediately shot, or can be a reverse pass for a shot, or could be pass inside for a shot, or could be pass and cut. There is lots of different situations. So if the weak side, as I said, if the weak side is covered, we can use a strong side because this is what we have. We have 2-man side fast break, you know. So as I said, this player 4 grabbing the ball can pass, can put the ball on the floor and attack, could pass inside to player 5, could pass and cut. Lots of options, because you should go one option at a time. Whatever comes and cross your mind, show it to your players. They will learn how to read and react. You know, if there is a chance to cut, they will cut. If there is a chance to shoot, let them shoot. Now, this is the situation when we pass the ball from 1 to 4, and then the ball goes to the corner and 4 decide to cut. Of course, all of those players will fill up the open spot, and this is the 5-0, 5-0 fast break, 5-out option. As I said, it's one of the options we should teach our players. I strongly believe that if we have 5 players out, especially in the kids basketball, 14, 16 years old, they will have great chances to grab the ball, fake and go, or just grab the ball and go and attack, catch the ball and go, catch and shot. They will have much more space to do situation and use situation one-on-one. So those are 2 situations of fast break, depending where the ball is, either on the side or on the middle in initial stage of the fast break. Now I would like to move to drills, what I'm doing with the kids, but also when I'm coaching the senior team. Those are really good drills. Of course, I will show you some of the drills. You can use some drills which you find interesting, some other drills maybe will not work for you, but you will use some other drills. Generally, what I'm thinking, I'm not using much the drill which we call crisscross, and Americans call it 3-man weave drill. I'm not using it much. It's a good conditioning drill, but in my opinion, it's not a good drill to develop fast break. It's good for teach your kids passing and catching and making layups, but it's not good for a fast break. They will never run fast break going one behind another in most of the cases, right? So this is the drill, perfection drill. It starts with all players line on the baseline, and first they run 1 to 0. So they grab the ball and run and make the right layup, and they go to the other side to make another right layup. They have to score both. If they miss one, they have to do it again after everybody finished. So if player number 1 missed one layup, he will go at the end of the line, but he will do it again when it's his turn. Now, we use 3 balls, so we have a good spacing. When player 1 scores here or shoots, the next player goes. So we have a good gap between each other, so they are not crashing to each other and everything. Of course, you can cut the gaps. So when the ball is at the middle, the next player comes, depends on how many players you have on your track. After 1 on 0, we go 2 on 0. So it starts with a chest pass, very narrow here, and finish with the layup. Then when they finish with the layup, they cross, and they do the same thing wider. While they are going back, so those are those red lines here, when they are going back with the wide passes, the next group of 2 players goes through the middle, narrow. So they have to score on both sides of the court. If they miss, they do it again at the end. Now, teach them to catch with 2 hands, to make good pass, could be chest pass, could be above the head, could be touch pass. Teach them, especially catch, pass, catch, pass. It's very important to catch with 2 hands. The drill continues with a part of the drill called Michigan, which starts with 3 players in the line and the players on the side exchanging passes. So this player is just running, okay? and they're exchanging passes, and the last pass goes, so 2 and 3 exchanging passes, the last pass goes from 3 to 1 and 1 finish. They cross the line, player 2 grabs the ball, make inbound to player 1, and player 1 makes a long pass to player 3. So player 3 makes this pass, starts cutting here, player 2 grabs the ball from the net, pass to player 1, who is now here, and 1 or 2 dribblings or without dribbling, long pass. Now here you can teach them to make a baseball pass if you want, or a long, strong chest pass. Depends. I think they have to know, of course, the baseball pass, so teach them to make a good baseball pass in front, not behind the running player, so he can catch and go. That's the thing. So that's the third part of perfection drill. Now, the fourth part is weaves. So we are doing first 4 passing. That's good for the start of the drill. I say I'm not using it much, but sometimes, for example, in this drill, I'm using weaves. So 3-man weave with 4 passes, and after that, 3-man weave with 3 passes. 1 up and down the court. Now, as I said, the goal is to make all layups. Every time they miss layups, they have to repeat the drill, not the whole drill, just what they missed. You can count the time, give them like 10 minutes to complete the drill. Then if they make it in 8 minutes, so next time you say, okay, we have 7. Or you can do something else, like, okay, we want to score every time you missed, you're gonna make push-ups or something like that. I think it's a good drill to start practice. It's a good drill to start practice. Now, 2-side drill, I think you saw it. It's not very, very innovative, but it's good. There is running, good lines, ball handling, passes, layups. Also, it's very simple. Player 1 grabs the rebound, he put the ball on the backboard, grabs the rebound, pivots, and make an outlet pass. It's very important. Player 2 loops, grabs the ball in the outlet area, and dribble the ball. Now here, when player 2 grabs the ball, it's extremely important to teach them that if they go left, like player 2 is now going to the left, he starts dribble with the left hand, not with the right hand, because usually the defender is here, right? So he can't dribble with the right hand. Okay, so start dribble with the left. Catch, go with the left hand. Of course, on the opposite side is a different thing. And then after this pass, player 1 runs wide, cuts when he reached the extended free throw line, receives the pass. Now, teach them different kinds of passes. Bounce pass, chest pass, grab the ball and finish with the layup. And then drill continues. Player 1 scores, run out. Player 2 continue, grabs the ball from the net, make a pass to player 1, runs behind him, and it's the same situation on the other side, finish with the layup. Now, the drill continues, so those are right layups. Then the next pair is coming, so you can tell them, okay, I want to see 20 in a row or 30 or whatever. Then you change, you go the same thing with the left layup. So it's a good drill. All of those fast break drills are very good for conditioning. And I have to tell you, for example, usually Mondays, we run a lot. But everything we run with the ball. During the season, very rarely, I'm using, run the laps without the ball or something like that, because players are boring on that. They are not happy. Even if they're old or young, they hate running laps. So if you want to make them run, give them ball, run fast breaks. 2-on-0, 3-on-0, just run. So that's the next drill. We move to this drill is very good. I really like it a lot. This is the initial setup. We have 3 groups, 1, 2, and 3, and 2 players, 1 extended elbow and 1 at the elbow. This player is out of bounds. Now, let's just 1 second. I remember one thing I forgot to tell you. When you are doing this drill, really important. If you want them to run as wide as possible, sometime I put the bench here. That's the first thing. I put the bench here, so they have to run around the bench. Because if you put just cone, sometimes they will just go this way. If it's just a cone here, they will go like this sometimes. But when you put a bench, if you have a bench, then they will have to go this way. So, and you can put a cone here at the beginning and tell them run to the cone and then cut, because sometimes they will cut regularly if they are, or you can put 2 cones, like here, when you reach the cone, go this way. Sometimes they will go here and cut. That's, for me, it's a bad cutting lane. So I want them to cut from the extended free throw line towards the basket. And you have to emphasize what's important for you. So you can't teach them on every practice everything. When you teach them, whatever you teach them, you can't emphasize everything, because they will be confused. So if you want to work on the good outlet pass, emphasize a good outlet pass, or a good rebound, or good catching with 2 hands. If you want to emphasize start with the left hand, then force them to do that and focus on that. If you want to emphasize cutting, work on that. You can't be focused on everything, because I understand that in lots of situations you are the only coach on the court and there is 12, 14, 15, 20 players. You can't see everything, but you can be focused on 1 or 2 things, and in my opinion that's important. So today you focus yourself for rebound and outlet pass. The next time with the ball handling and cutting. So what you can control, you can't control everything. If you are alone on the court, and I know that in most of the cases we are only coach with the numerous kids. Okay, so this half court passing drill, it's a really good drill for kids 14, 16, even for the senior drill. It teaches them for timing and spacing and passing and finishing. You can do lots of things. Now, the drill starts with 2 balls. 1 ball is here, the other ball is here. So let's start. Player 1, pass to player 5, and player 5, pass to player 6. Player 1 moves towards player 6, receives the ball, so handoff, and finish with the layup. Very simple. Now, player 6 moves to the position of player 5, and player 5 after the pass to player 6, because that happens almost simultaneously at the same time, you know, this pass, handoff, and layup. He goes around and grabs the rebound. Okay, player 1 who shoots turns and go to the elbow. When player 1 comes to the elbow, the next player comes with this pass. So timing, spacing, passing, and finishing. You can teach them, you can tell them, okay, now we go layup, then we go reverse layup, then we go Euro step, then we go up and under, then we go stride stop, then we go goofy layup, or whatever. Teach them to do everything. Now, after this pass, here, this player pass and run to the end of the group. This player pass here, go to the end of the group. So I hope it's not very much complicated, but with the black lines, those are initial moves, and red lines are rotations in a drill. Very good drill. You can do it left and right, of course, and after few practices, you will be amazed how your kids or your players are doing this. They are moving, it's really nice to watch. I was amazed. Lots of my teams run that drill, and after few practices, I'm just amazed how they are moving and coming. Now, instead of just giving this handoff, player one can cut to the 3-point line, get the pass, take a shot, or can go to the short corner, receive the pass, take a shot, or, for example, player one goes to this position, receives the ball from player six goes there, as we said, and player five, for example, come and set the screen. So you can make so many situations, whatever you want. You can be creative on this, but it's very good drill. I like it so much. Now, another drill which will teach your players running and passing, very good running drill. Important catching and passing with 2 hands. The drill starts with the coach under the basket and the players in 4 corners. As you can see, the players in 1, 2, 3, and 4 corners. So player 1 loops, receives the ball from the coach. At the same time, player 3 runs full speed. Now, depends how strong are your player or how big is your court, because I know sometimes that you are practice on the smaller courts. You can teach this player either to make a long pass, the best chest pass, or 1 dribbling or 2 dribblings and then pass. Depends. Young kids, as I said, 14 or younger, they will need probably 1 or 2 passes. But it's important, you know, to make a good pass, and we finish with a layup. So when player number 3 scores layup, player number 1, after the pass, sprints to grab the ball from the net. When grabs the ball from the net, player 6, as you can see, loops, calls outlet, receives the pass, and pass the ball to player number 7, who is also running. Timing. Player 7 starts running when player 3 makes a layup, and player 6 starts to run when player 1 grabs the ball from the net. Because if player 6 starts to run earlier, he will either stop here, but we want the drill in the movement, so he catch the ball in the movement and make a pass, or put the ball on the floor to dribblings and pass, or this player will start running all the way to here, and then the pass will need to be not on the outlet area where we want to be. So it's really important to have a good timing. If this player starts too late, then this player will need to dribble a lot. We don't want that. So timing is crucial. So the drills continue until players make the certain number of layups. I usually say, okay, let's make 40 in a row. So every time they miss, they start from 0. But it could be also in total, let's make 50 or 30 in total. And for every missed layup, you run suicide. Or let's run it for 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, whatever you think. You can run it right layup, you can run left layup. It's a good rebounding, passing, conditioning drill. Really good. it's a good for kids, and it will be fun for them, especially if you have some kids who are ready to dunk. They like to do it, so it will be very good for them. Now we move a little bit. I'm sorry, this is just the wrong drill. That's the really wrong one. I made a good one. Can you just wait for a second, please, coach? If there is any questions, I will be happy to answer it. Just 1 second.
Thank you so much, coach.
I did it today for some new drills. Okay, I will show it here. I will go back. So, do you see this?
Yes, coach.
Okay, great. So, this is the situation. This is the drill. We call it 21 skip drill. So it's very simple. You have players line in 4 lines, in 4 corners, half court, 4 corners, and you can have, depends on how many players, you can do it with 1 ball or 2 balls. So you have 1 defender and the players in the corners. So the drill starts with player 1 passing to player 6. Okay, and player 6 pass to player 8. In the meantime, player 1 and his pair, player 3, runs at the end of the line here. Now, player 8 starts to dribble the ball, player 6 runs, and they have 2-on-1 situation. So they have to read and react. This is good drill because you also teach defender how to react and how to defend it. What I'm teaching is that player 1 is waiting all the way until last second, and then he decides, because if he goes too early to player number 8, then player number 6 will be open for layup. If he's waiting too late, then player number 8 will finish with the layup. So that's also the drill you want to teach. And how do you want to teach your players to play defense? So players 6 and 8 go 2-on-1 and try to finish the drill. Now, how the drill continues. So let's say player 6 was shooting and making layup. Okay, one of the either defender or player 8 grabs the ball, passes it to one corner. It doesn't matter. It could be this corner or that corner. It doesn't matter. And defender and the player who didn't shoot, goes back to the end of the lines. In the meantime, when player 2 passes to player 5 and then player 5 to player 7, the player who shooted the ball has to play defense. And you can tell him, okay, you have to run either to here or to here or wherever, and then sprint to defense. Now we have more or less game situation because defense is also in movement, not only offense. And we teach our players in offense to read and react, because in the most cases, when you're going to run fast break, it will happen that your defense is also in movement. There is no player in defense just standing there and do nothing. So as I said, this is 21 skip drill. Very good. I really like it. I really like it a lot. Okay, now let's get back to our PowerPoint. To go to the next drills. So forget 21 skip drill. Oh, it's here. Oh, good. I made mistake in presentation, but it's okay. So this is how we are doing this. That's 21 skip drill. I just explained. Okay. Now this is the drill everybody is doing, but I just want to go through it because I will show you both situations. So it's 3-on-0 drill. You can run it up and down. You can run it to one side. You can line your players on both sides of the court. You can use one ball. You can use 5 balls. I mean, how many balls you need, it doesn't matter. But the principles are important. So player 5 is ready to grab a rebound. He put the ball on the backboard and grabs a rebound. Again, 2 hands, good pivot and everything. Now 2 guards or 2 wings, or when you are teaching your young players, I think they have to change the position. So they have to be everywhere. So put your point guard here as a rebounder and put your 5 here to be a ball handler in this fast break. Just because when they are 14 years old, you actually don't know how big they will be. Are they going to finish as a post players, or are they going to finish as a shooting guards? They need to know everything. So both guards, after the rebound, after the player 5 grabs the ball, both guards open towards the sideline and back against the sideline and receive. So if player 5 is on the left side of the backboard, he will make pass to player 1. If the player 5 is like here grabbing the rebound, he will make pass to player 2. It doesn't matter. You can conduct the drill as you like. And then we have, again, player 1. This is our outlet area. Player 1 loops and starts to dribble the ball towards middle. And now you can say, okay, 1 dribble, 2 dribbles, long pass, and finish for player 2. Or dribble the ball all the way to the free throw line and wait for player 5 to come and give him ball to finish when he starts to cut. That's one thing what you can do. You can force them to make quick pass to player 2, then diagonal pass to player 5 to finish with the layup. That's a good option. Also, pass to player 2, pass back to player 1, let player 1 finish with the layup. Or pass to player 2, force him to shot, long shot, and player 1 boxing out player 5. Be creative. You can do whatever you want. But again, I think in this drill, beginning is important. Running lines. Okay. Good pass. And finish. Conduct the drill how you like it. And again, take care of the details. But as I said, you can't take care of all the details. Okay, if you want today to take care of the finish, then focus on how they are making layups or whatever you tell them to do. If you want to be focused on passing, then focus on passing. After some time, when you are doing this drill, they will know that they need to do, and then you will need just to remind them. Okay, take care, do this, do that. Hey, and they will say, okay, I know, I messed up. I did a bad pass. It's important, because in previous sessions, we spoke about passing, you can't run any kind of offense if your passing skills are bad. Ball handling, everything is important, but running those drills, catching the ball, last time we spoke about a press breaker drill. If they don't know how to pass, they will not be able to break the press. If they don't know how to dribble, the same thing. If they don't know how to catch the ball, you can do your best offense or the best defense or anything, but if they are not able to do fundamentals, you will not be able to run anything in basketball. So 3 things are important: fundamentals, fundamentals, and fundamentals. Now, this is what we mentioned at the beginning, the second type of subtype of the primary fast break, side fast break. So the setup is the same, boxing out position, facing to the basket, grab the rebound, make an outlet pass, but then weak side player runs all the way to the corner. Post player are not going behind the point guard. He's following and filling up the 45 spot, and the ball stays on this side. And then you can run and teach them, as I said, whatever you want. You can make a long pass here, you can make a short pass here, and then an extra pass. You can teach these players to grab the ball, put it on the floor, and attack the basket. It's up to you. What do you want to emphasize on this practice? But to teach them to run side fast break, this is the good drill. Oh, this is the drill I like most. It looks a little bit complicated. I will show you 2 options. I like it most. Once the players are figured out, it's a really good drill. Conditioning, making layups, making shots, really good drill. So this is the original setup. I call it 5 trips drill. Player 4 is with the ball, putting the ball on the backboard, and player 5 grabs the rebound. Players 2 and 3, our wings, run wide. The player 4 who had the first ball and making the pass to player 5 over the backboard, this player starts running all the way as a rim man, and player 5 runs as a trailer. Player 5 should always run up to the 3-point line. Now, player 1 gets opened, loop, our outlet area, makes 1 pass and long pass to player 4. So how are we going? First, we have rim man, rim man. Those are first 2 drills. First time for player 4. Players 2 and 3, they are running, they didn't get the ball, they are crossing behind the basket, or you can teach one player to cross here and the other one behind the basket. Depends, it's up to you, I leave it to you. So they have to go on the opposite positions. Player 1 is moving always on one side. Player 4 scores, make an inbound pass, player 1 dribbles the ball and make a long pass to 5, and player 5 finish. 3 and 2, they sprint, they cut. So that was rim man, rim man. Now we work for our wings. Player 5 and 4 continue running, 3-point line, rim, 3-point line, rim. This is how they run, both of them. Outlet pass, ball to the point guard, diagonal pass to one wing, wing finish, and again wing crosses. Again, player 4 will make the inbound pass to player 1, diagonal pass to the other wing, finish. So rim, rim, wing, wing, and at the end we finish with the point guard, outlet pass to point guard, pass to the strong side wing, reverse pass to point guard, and point guard finish. This is very good drill because your players will always follow their lines and how to run the fast break. It's very good drill. I like it a lot. So the ball is always, the point guard needs to always be in a good position, always in a outlet area to receive the pass, be passing the ball, good passes, good catching. At the beginning, it will probably be very hard for them. You can go one trip at a time. Understand? So first, one post player, one rim man, then second rim man, then first wing, then the third wing, then the point guard, and then put everything together. It works. So that's the drill for, let's say, middle fast break, and this is the drill for the side fast break. As you can see, initial setup is the same, but now we have the player 2 running to weak side corner. Player 4 is not a rim man anymore. Player 4 is going to the 45 spot. The ball is on one side, on the ball side. Okay. So yeah, that should be a dribble, not pass. Okay, so player 1 grabs the ball, dribble, pass here, pass to the corner, corner takes the shot, the first post player goes for the rebound. Player 5 is up to here. Now we have the same situation, outlet pass, dribble, now we pass far away. The player 4 gets the ball on the 3-point, takes a shot. Player 5 grabs the rebound. Again, we have players. The first player run to the corner. The second player run to the top. We make pass to player 1. Player 1 again passes. Now we have pass back to player 5. Player 5 takes the shot. That's the third. Then we use everything on the weak side. Now we play strong side. Player 1 pass ball to the corner, receives the ball back, takes a shot. And the last drill is our player who run the most, because he's usually running from the corner to the corner, finish with a shot. So those are 5 trips drill, 5-on-0 for teaching your players to run so-called side fast break. Now we are moving to a little bit further. Those were the drills mostly on 0. If we just skip the skip 21 drill, which was 2-on-1. You can start this drill either with the rebounder here and players here, like 3-on-0, or they can be on the baseline. It doesn't matter. The basic idea is, I know that you probably saw that drill previously, and honestly, it's much easier to explain the drills on the basketball court, but well, at this stage, we only have this, so we have to move like this. We have 2 defensive players. They are lined like this, and we have the third defensive players, that +1 on the sideline, half-court sideline. So players 1, 2, and 3, they run the offense. They can run through the middle, like here. Now, when you teach players 3-on-2 drill, for me, it's very important. This is something what I mentioned at the beginning. Pass to the wing as quick as possible. The opposite wing will go to the block. This wing will grab the ball and attack. And usually players at the beginning always try to find pass from 3 to 2, this pass. It works, but not as much as we want that pass to work. So you have to teach the players, if you cannot finish with the layup, if you are stopped, pass ball back to the ball handler, and ball handler has to follow the ball, as you can see. So he pass ball to 3 attacks, and the ball handler point guard follows the ball. Then it's reverse pass, because usually rotation, the top players defending the ball, but when the ball is here on the wing, this player will go and defend this player here. That's why I'm saying this pass can only work if this player here, player 1, is too late. Usually it's not. So we pass ball back to our ball handler, to our point guard, and then he can either shoot or then pass diagonal, because then they have to rotate one more time. In the meantime, when the ball crosses the half court, the third defender has to run to the middle and then go to the defense. Okay? So when the one team finish, defense go offense, and we continue playing back and forth. It's the same thing. So 2 players here are playing defense, 5 and 6. 4 will join them once the ball passes the half court. As I said, try to pass as soon as possible. Give this player chance to attack and follow the ball. Follow the ball. If he can't finish, get the ball back, take a shot, put the ball on the floor, attack, or pass diagonal. If you want to teach them how to run the side, it's even better. In this case, player 1, after the outlet pass, will not run behind, it will run on the weak side, and the corner player will sprint to the corner, and then we have ball. Okay, so as I said, this is fast break on the side. So the ball will stay on the ball side, and you send your players to the weak side 45 and to the weak side corner. In this case, those 2 defenders will need to spread more, and you will always have a good solution. Of course, the third player waits, the ball crosses the half court line, and then he goes back to defense. This is the good solution, and in my opinion, this is even better, because on this side you always have 2-on-1, and it's a very good spacing. So this player can also go for a layup, not only shoot. This player can cut and get an easy pass for layup. Let them decide what's the best for them. You can show them, but let them read and react. Okay, this is 4-on-3 handicap drill. I'm sure you saw it. This is the basic setup. Coaches with the ball on the sideline, 4 offensive players on the baseline, 4 defensive players extended or the free throw line. And the drill is very simple. A coach passes the ball to the one of offensive players. And if, for example, coach passes the ball to player 4, defensive player 4 needs to sprint to the baseline, and then he is able to go back to defense. In the meantime, 4 offensive players start to run fast break, so 4-on-3 with defensive trailer is coming, again, you can run middle or side fast break. I'm trying to teach my players side fast break. I think it's much better spacing. But of course, you can send one of your guy here, and then you have wings and everything. It's a good drill also for teaching your players how to play transition defense. I will show that a little bit later, because as I always said, always half of your team playing offense and the other half is playing defense. It's a good drill, as we know, for read and react. So if player is coach pass to player 4 will pass ball to player 1, and player 1 then will continue. Or we can say, okay, fine, whoever catch the ball should dribble the ball. It depends on you. If there is a big guy or big girl, you want to do better ball handling, so just okay, grab the ball and drive, and then this will be a ball side and this will be a weak side, and then we will have player here on 45 and player here in the corner. It depends what you want. You want to pass ball to your point guard, or you want every player who grabs the ball drives the ball. And this drill, it's similar, but we have two defensive trailers. In this case, coach named two numbers. So he called, for example, 5 and 3. So at the moment coach passed the ball to one of the offensive players, those two players, in this case 5 and 3, have to sprint to the baseline and then sprint back to the offense. Those 5 players run fast break. As I said, very good to run side, because you can send your 5 here to the rim, your 2 here to the strong side corner, 4 and 3, 45, and a weak side corner. And then you're trying to figure it out. You see, point guard can pass to any of the players which is open. Now, I want to mention a bit of transition defense in this situation. So it's basically 5-on-3 fast break, which happens during the game a lot. This highlighted area here is where we want our defensive players to stay at the beginning. So they sprint and they form something which I called wall. So when the ball is coming, this player with the ball will not see lane. He will see 3 players in front and he will need to make a pass. Now, if our defenders are here, here, and here, the player with the ball will see the lane and he will attack the lane. Right? I hope that makes sense. Now, after first pass, those first 3 defenders will focus on the strong side, and 2 trailers will focus on the weak side. So if the ball goes, let's say, here, the first defender will go here, the second defender will cover the strong side corner, and the third defender will cover, for example, rim man, and the trailers will cover weak side. Why am I doing this? Of course, it's a mismatch, but it's transition. It's a fast break. We have to stop everything here. So the first thing is stop fast break. And later, we can change. While you are teaching your kids, you didn't give them this. In most cases, you are not saying, okay, you are fast, you are post player, or you are point guard, you are a shooting guard. They all play everything in this situation. They just need to know, okay, defensive trailers cover weak side. The first 3 players form the wall to stop straight penetration, and then they go and cover the weak, the strong side players. Okay, that's the basic idea how you can teach them. If you think it's too complicated, then you don't need to focus on defense. But from time to time, you will try to teach your players how to defend the transition, the fast break of your opponent, because you understand, it's not only you who want to run fast break, there is also your opponents who want to run the fast break. And this is probably something else from some other topic calling defensive transition. But just I wanted to mention this as I think it's important, because you don't want your offense just go smoothly. You want to make things a little bit harder for your offensive players. Make the drill competitive. Count the score. You can give lots of chances. For example, you can tell your defense, you have to make 2 stops before you go offense, or you can run back and forth. Okay, so you run 5 on 3 plus 1, and then you run 5 on 5. It depends. You can do lots of things. Sometimes I'm running 5 on 3, then fast break, 5 on 5, and another fast break. Depends if they score, if they miss. You can do lots of things. If the defense is successful and they stop fast break and you come to the 5 on 5 situation, you can tell them what you want to do. It could be, okay, just pass and cut, or play pick and roll, or give and go. I mean, whatever. It depends on you what you want. If the defense covers fast break and you don't have any advantage anymore out of this. So I think it's again up to you. Give them as much as possible. Be creative in this situation. Okay, and one more time, again, fundamentals: catching, receiving, dribbling, passing, spacing, timing. In every drill, I emphasize those things. So for me, timing, spacing, good pass, especially good pass in fast break, the most important thing. The most important thing. And that will be the end of our slideshow. And everything I could give you. I mean, obviously there is a lot of things. We all have like a million drills for a warm up, for a fast break, but those are the drills I really like, and I think they can help. They can help you to develop good fast break. It doesn't matter what kind of fast break you want to run, ball in the middle or ball on the side. Those drills can give you really a lot of situations, and it will teach your players how to run fast break.
Thank you so much, Coach. That was great. If there are any questions, let me know, please. No, thank you so much. Taking out one question, maybe. Yes. Let me open that. Coach Amir, please.
Thank you, Coach. Thank you for your attention. Thank you, Coach Raimi, for your organization. In my opinion, one of the most important things, or one of the most important part of the basketball is the fast break. I know for the young players, for the young teams. I have a question. How many minutes for the how many minutes should be spent for the fast break during the training? Could you help us? for example, for them, someone 2 hour the pray 2 hour the 2 hour the time for them, for example, training. How many times which you spend?
Yeah, I understand. Thank you, Coach Amir. It's a good question. It's about of course, your organization. At the beginning of the season, if you teach your players what you want to run, you will need obviously a lot more time, because you know how it goes. You first explain, then you show, then you watch, let them do, and then you they then makes obviously some mistakes, and then you try to cut mistakes to the minimum. So obviously it will be a long time, but it's always good to start at the beginning of the practice when you do some warm-up drills, to emphasize what you want to work a little bit later. So if you start with, for example, if you want to work on 3-on-2 fast break later, or 2-on-1, then at the beginning of the drill, at the beginning of the practice, you make those drills which will help you later in the practice. So that's everything is a fast break. So there is no straight answer. You know, that also depends of your players. If you are coaching under 14 players which never saw a drill like 21 skip, it will probably take you a little more time. Don't limit yourself with the time, because maybe it's better, if you want to do something right, to be focused on the drill, then say, okay, I show you it wasn't good, let's move to the next thing.
You're right.
Also, if they are not ready, it happens. Whatever team you coach, you will find, and you probably experience this situation, that whatever you try to do today on practice, it doesn't work, because most of your team is not here for practice. Then whatever you try to do, it's not going to work. So you just say, okay, let's play. Because you will start screaming or try to force them to do something. They're not focused, they will not be ready to do it. It happens, so it's better to leave it. But I said, don't focus on the time. If you see that some drill is not going well, you have to understand why it's not going well. Maybe it will be better to do it tomorrow and just say, okay, 10 free throws, let's move forward. It's very hard to explain how many minutes, because in my when I prepare for the practice, I said, okay, we will do 15 minutes warm up, and then we are done with 10, because everything works perfect. You know, they score 40 layups in a row, and I don't need 15 minutes. And then we move to the, I don't know, some pick and roll situation with the senior team, and it takes me, instead of 15 minutes, we have to work 30 minutes on that, because it's not going very well, or we need to do it better, or something like that. And then we have to skip something else, you know, like shooting or more free throws or whatever. But if you have, it's not how much time you have for practice. It's more about where are you in the season. You know, it's obviously that at the beginning of the season you will need more time, and when the season is coming to the end, you will need less time, because kids will be ready.
Thank you very much.
You're
Thank you for your attention.
No problem.
Thanks for your question and your participation, Coach Amir. Let me thanks to you again, Coach Ivankovic, for taking out your precious time for us and sharing your knowledge for our coaches. Have a good time. Stay safe all. See you again.
Thank you, Coach.